Okay, well, we are starting our Friday, May 22nd class. So good morning, everyone. Let's see if we can fix. There we go. That's a little better. Okay, and I'm going to fix the microphone. So hang on so that make sure you can hear me correctly. Okay, so I think we're good. So let's just get started with some breath work. One hand on the chest, one hand on the lower abdomen. Just look down at your feet. They should be about outer hip distance apart, the knees slightly bent. Really feel all four corners of your feet pressing down into the earth. Let the shoulders relax down. Let the belly be soft. And then imagine that your entire column, the vertebral column, is instead of like a pole, that it's like a string of pearls. And at each end, they're being pulled gently in opposite directions. So the top of the string is being pulled up, the bottom of the string is being pulled down gently. So we really feel that elongation of the spine, that we're pressing down as much as we're reaching the crown of the head, the upper body upwards. So we're creating space for a deeper breath, fuller breath, and that we are honoring the natural curvature of the spine. So rather than like military stance, which is very rigid, right? Everything is very tight and at attention. In QiGong stance, we bend the knees, we sink the chi downward so that you see this natural four-part curvature, so that sacrum is slightly curving down, right? We have this gentle curvature in the low back. Then we have the thoracic spine has a gentle, very subtle curve forward, and then the neck has a natural curvature in the opposite direction. So those four opposing curves allow a flexibility so that we're able to move in all the directions efficiently, but also with an incredible amount of stability. So in QiGong stance, they sink down as a way of generating so much stability that it's really hard to be able to be pushed off kilter by an opponent or by some other external force. An analogy for life, right? So we navigate life, challenges, things are coming at us quite often. And if we're too rigid and not breathing, this also, right, contracts the shoulders. If the shoulders are really tight and up, it doesn't allow full expansion of the lungs, then the upper back gets tight and there's this trickle effect. So we're letting ourselves be erect, which just means upright, but with a sinking down of the chi towards the earth, crown of the head reaching up, shoulders relaxing down away from the ears. And the stance really generates a stability here, the lower dantian. And when we say QiGong is about moving from the center, it's this area. So with that in mind, we'll start the breath from the belly, let it rise upward. And then exhale in the opposite direction. So inhale, let it rise up. And exhale back down. Just let the shoulders be nice and relaxed. Feel that when we stand erect, but with some flexibility in the spine, honoring the natural curves, We can feel that wave of breath coming in and leaving as we exhale. And throughout today's sequence, we'll be working with that natural undulation of the spine as we breathe and as we move. So let's take our arms into gold post. Let me just check to make sure we aren't missing anyone because of sometimes I send the email a little too late. Nope, I think we're good. Perfect. Okay, arms and goal posts. And we're just gonna rotate from the center. I'm gonna turn over to the left. As you see, I'm gonna come to the toes of the right foot so that as I rotate over, the rotation starts down below, the lower aspect of the vertebrae, and then we continue to rotate. So now the mid-thoracic starts rotating, and then the upper spine, and then shoulders and head. And then we inhale back to the center, exhale over to the right. It's like a little corkscrew. We're corkscrewing the body very gently, and then unwinding. And with the arms in goal post position, the rotation, the stretches focused more on the upper back, the shoulders. So even if we're in this posture, see if you can relax the shoulders down. Once we start hiking the shoulders up, then we constrict breathing. We constrict the muscles that allow us for a deep rotation. So relax the shoulders while maintaining this position of the arms. And then we'll just drop the arms slightly, still focusing this rotation more in the mid-back. And then come down to the lower abdomen, this area of the lower abdomen here. And then we'll go right into knocking on the door of life. So turning from the hips and the waist, or knocking across the lower abdomen, the low back. We have to first awaken the chi. We're going to stimulate these areas that help to awaken and enliven the energy centers of the body. So the door of life, the space, the low back, the Ming Men, highly used area of points in acupuncture to help tonify the kidneys, to raise energy, to raise yang. And then we'll come up just below the collarbone. And then all the way to the top of the shoulders. Keep going. I'm just checking something. Here we are. Okay, keep going. Couldn't see y'all. I couldn't see you. Had a window in the way. And then back down below the collarbone. And then back down to the waist. And then let's go right into water waves here. So still turning from the hips and the waist, we're just allowing the arms to float through the space around you. So the arms are relaxed, the fingers, like little fimbriae, are nice and relaxed. So So you feel the airflow between the fingers, across the skin. Just really allowing the imagery of washing away tension, washing away
When are you going to the storage space?
stress. And keep going.
Will be good to do it today so that you can.
And then start to unwind. Okay, so let's do a little clearing and cleansing, and then we'll go into some stretches for the head, neck, and shoulders. This one I love because it's a clearing exercise. So we're used to doing clearing exercises. We inhale the arms up and we exhale the arms come out to the side. This is the one that we include a small step back. So hopefully you can see me. Your hands come above the head on the inhale, and on the exhale, the arms come out to the side, and as you do, you're gonna step back with your left foot. So it's a little balance here too. Inhale to the center, and then step back with your right foot. So inhale to the center, exhale. You don't have to do the step back. If it feels better just to stay in the center, or you can step back just a little bit, or you can make the movement a little bit wider. Inhale and then exhale. So this is great because we're not only purging and letting go, we're generating some heat and strength in the legs and a little balance exercise. Which is something that we tend to lose as we get older. Our ability to stay centered and not lose balance. So that's a muscle we need to always be working on. And we'll start to slow down. And it also generates a little bit of cardiovascular work, which is always great. Okay, so now let's go into a wider stance. And this is going to be a little balance exercise as well. So we're going to turn so you're facing your right, and basically you can see I'm in a lunge. So your front knee is bent. You're on the ball of your back foot, and you can bend that back knee also just to sometimes if the hip flexors are too tight, right? Just bend that back knee so you have access so you can really drop down. And then we'll bring the arms out to the sides. Okay, take a nice inhale. And as we exhale, you're just gonna straighten that front knee as the arms come down. So that's the exhale. So we inhale, bend the front knee, arms come up, and then exhale, the arms float down on the exhale as we straighten up. So inhale and exhale. So this is working with the lung and large intestine channels that run down the arm into the thumb and index finger. So as we inhale, we can imagine we're drawing energy into the lungs and down and through the arms into the fingers. And then as we exhale, we're just pushing that energy, that chi, deeper into those meridians, all the way into the organ. So we inhale, draw in. And then as we exhale, we're just condensing and consolidating that energy inward. So this is a really good leg strengthening exercise as well. But see if you can keep some softness. So just allow yourself to sink down on the inhale And then exhale, you're just pushing down gently as we straighten. And inhale. And exhale as we come down. Let's do one more. Now come to the center. Palms at the center of the chest. Let's counter that with slow breathing. So we'll do heart to the sky. So inhale, arms come out and look up. And then exhale, sink the chest. Chin tucks down, heart to the earth on the exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And one more. Okay, now over to the left. So you're gonna bend the left knee. You're on the toes, the balls of your back foot, your right foot. We'll bring the arms out to the sides and bend that front knee. So this is the inhale. And as we exhale, straighten that front knee. The arms come down on the exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And inhale, drawing energy in. Exhale, sending it deeper into the body. Just a few more. I know this is a good workout for the legs, but we're working the breath, we're working our balance, we're trying to maintain easeful flow, right? Even in the midst of these micro challenges that we give ourselves. And then let's come to the center, hands at the center of the chest again, and then inhale, heart to the sky. Exhale, heart to the earth. Okay. Ooh, that was a good one for the legs. Let's keep moving my mat today. So we're going to go through a little exercise that is all about honoring the natural waves, the curvatures of the spine. So this one I love, and I don't think we've done for a while. So you're going to maintain this stance, like a neutral stance, outer hip distance apart. Your hands are going to be just lightly resting on your thighs. And as we exhale and come forward, you're going to bend at the waist and then use your chin, like you're jutting your chin forward. Okay, and you're using that as your guide as you exhale and come down. Then as we come all the way down, tuck your chin in. I'm going to turn sideways so you want to see me. Tuck your chin in and then curve your tailbone down. Meaning, like if you had a little tail here, imagine you trying to curl your tailbone down so you're stretching the tail towards the earth. And as we do, you're going to start to roll the spine all the way up. Keep your head down until the very last moment as you come up. So we exhale the chin forward. And then inhale, we roll the spine, starting from the tailbone, stretching down, rolling all the way up. Keep your shoulders nice and relaxed also. So as we come forward and the chin tucks down, release any tension in the shoulders and just allow a gentle stacking of the vertebrae. And the stacking is not necessarily this rigid set of blocks, right? There is a natural curvature. So what we just mean is aligning the natural spine so that it's able to have that bounciness, that flexibility that help us be aligned to gravity and not using muscles unnecessarily working against it. So if our skeletal system, the scaffolding is in right alignment, then the muscles and tendons and ligaments and all the tissue, the rest of the tissue, right, has this freedom of flow where we can relax areas of tension, maximizing our breath. And then let's make the movement a little smaller. So we're still going to be coming forward with the chin, but you don't have to bend too far down now. Just a little bend and then still rolling the spine up. So working energy through the spine from the tailbone all the way up to the base of the neck. The head comes up. Exhale forward. And a little smaller. And then we'll come to pause here, right at the center. Close your eyes. Just notice how you're feeling. Maybe there's more energy, or you notice more energy throughout the spinal column. Maybe you notice because of this alignment through that vertebral column, the muscles of the shoulders, the hips can relax just a little bit more. Okay, I think it's time we do a little chin roll, chin and neck roll, and then we'll go into our flows. So let's bring the arms behind, palms together. And let's just loosen up some of the space that might get all crunchy at the base of the neck. So head tilting over to the left, and then nice and slowly, let's let the head fall forward. So the chin's towards the chest, and then over to the right, and back up and over again. Especially if we've been sitting for long periods in front of a computer or devices, the neck can get pretty strained. So this is just a lovely opportunity to go slow. Really put the attention on this area for a sustained amount of time with love. And just give yourself the opportunity to release here. And then we'll go in the opposite direction. And then we'll just drop the arms down. Just notice how you're feeling. And let's do a little shaking. Let's do a little shaking. It's bouncing the knees. bouncing the arms, the shoulders. And I invite you to do whatever healing sound you are called to today. For me, I'm thinking a little bit of metal. So it's TSSS if that resonates with you. This is for the lung and large intestine. Just clearing out the lungs, clearing out the intestine. There's been a lot of grief. Really helps to allow the body to process. And heal. And we'll start to slow down. Okay, so our first flow for today is opening the flow to the 4 directions. I've been starting off with this the past few QiGong sessions because I really, I like that slight variation of open the flow. So we're just in, again, shoulders nice and relaxed, sinking the chi, sinking down, just meaning we're not collapsing, but we're allowing the body to have this bouncy flexibility by, if you know, martial artists, everything is very low and centered to the ground because that's where we have most force. If someone tries to push you over, if you're standing like this, someone can push you over. You don't have as much of the centered strength to resist that. But if we have this really good QiGong stance where we're relaxed and open and sinking down in an alignment, that same person can try to push you and you're not going anywhere. So thinking about that, so strength, resiliency, centeredness, but then relaxing into the flow so energy can move all into those nooks and crannies as well as possible. So we'll start with just inhaling, the arms float up, and exhale, the arms float down. Inhale, float up. And even with this really simple movement, we're actually allowing the body to move, the spine to move. I'm going to just show you an exaggerated, what we were doing before, where the chin tucks down and then we come up and then forward. That's actually happening naturally when we rise up and then down. So there's a natural undulation as we come up of the spine and then back down. So just, you don't have to do exactly what we were doing before to that degree, but just notice. Just notice what your spine is doing as we inhale and rise up, and then exhale and sink down. And then we'll add on here. So the arms come up as we inhale and then draw them in towards you. Exhale, push forward. Inhale towards you. Exhale down. That's open the flow to the 4 directions. So we inhale, the arms rise up first, then draw in. That's one long inhale. Exhale, push forward. Inhale, draw in, and exhale down. And just feel as your body is able to move from the center with relaxation, there's a pretty significant internal power that we start to feel. That's why we can see these pretty amazing things that some of these martial artists, often even people with, smaller stature or frame, have sometimes some of the most tremendous amount of strength, tensile strength, that energy that's held and captured in the fascia, in the tissue, in these meridians, that just has this explosive ability to go forward and out. But a lot of that comes from cultivating the yin, allowing qi to come in, to sink down, to flow. Inhale, up and in. Exhale, push forward. Inhale and down. Let's bring our hands into our chi ball for a moment. Just feeling your electricity. And then from here, we'll drop the arms down. We're going to go into bear swimming. Carrie, I know you love this one just as much as me. So we're going to come for the back of the hands are going to come around. So you're leading the arms forward with the back of the forearms and the hands forward. Let me just turn sideways. So the tailbone glides back, the arms come forward, relax shoulders, and then the hands spiral up and in, and then we'll bring the hands back into the center as we roll the spine up. So exhale forward and then inhale. Now you probably notice my spine. We're doing the same thing. We exhale forward, the chin comes out, and then the chin tucks down as we draw in. I'm rolling the spine up. Exhale, the arms float out, and inhale, we roll up. Nice and slow to start with. We'll pick up the pace, but let's start with nice, slow exhalations, nice, slow inhale as we roll up. Just as we're exhaling, the arms come out and around. As we start the inhale, that starts to draw the hands back into the center. Think about as we're rolling the spine through this space, and all the muscles in the neck, the shoulders, right? They are getting a gentle stretch, but as we inhale and come up, we're releasing them, allowing energy to flow through the arms, to circulate and return. And now let's try going just a little bit faster, just so we see the difference. So we're not going to go on, the speed dial to 10, but maybe just pick it up maybe 1 or 2 notches. Always leading with the breath. So the breath should still, you're increasing the movements or the speed, but you're increasing slightly the breath also. Keeping the knees nice and soft. You never really want locked elbows or knees in QiGong. They're always slightly bent. That allows energy to flow freely. So the joints are nice and supple. And then we'll slow this movement back down. Inhale fully. Full inhale. Full exhale. And let's inhale back to the center into our chi ball. Close the eyes. And then drop the arms down. We'll just inhale the arms now slowly out to the sides. As we exhale, the elbows sink down first and then the arms sink down. Inhale, we expand. Exhale, sink back down. Release the shoulders on the exhale. Inhale, they float up. Or keep the shoulders relaxed. And exhale, back down. Just feeling light and spacious. Feel the freedom of the breath as the lungs are able to expand. We bring in more energy. But just as importantly, we have all this space, this vehicle, to exhale and let go. We don't inhale and hold on. We inhale, and then we need to make space for the next inhale, so we gotta let go fully. Full exhalation. The body's no longer needing all of that, and then we inhale. Just feel lightness. In the mind, in the body. And then one more inhale. And let's come back to our chi ball one more time. And then the arms come down. Let's inhale the arms down, around and up. Slow exhalation, the hands, let's glide back down. And inhale. Just washing any residual gunk from your energy field, from your mind, from your heart center, the physical body, any aches or pains. Just allow this last few moments, right? Intentionally letting go. whatever it is that you would like and are ready to let go of. And last one. Let's let the hands fall just below the belly button. Bring the feet close together. Let's make a few circles here, right? The lower dantian. With our intention. Intention, imagination, our thoughts change physiology. Literally. So we change some patterns in our imagination and what we want to create that send information to our nervous system, to our endocrine system, our circulatory system, our respiratory system, and that translates to physiological change. So we just built all of that good energy. Now we're just storing it here in our, we call it the energetic bank account. And just noticing all of those maybe subtle or maybe bigger changes internally, and know that you just shifted your own physiology, which is pretty powerful. So just reminding you of that. All right, everyone, I hope you have a great holiday weekend, that you get some outside time today before the rain comes in. And I'm pretty sure I'm actually going to cancel Monday morning's class. Just letting everyone know that, because I think originally on Monday, Monday, I had said I was going to be here, but I think I'll be up here until then. So I know that Cynthia and Ariana, you don't normally come to the Monday. Carrie, you do, but in case you were thinking about coming on Monday, not happening.
Got it.
Okay. Thank you so much.
I always want to.
You should. The QiGong in the gazebo now, because now that
cool.
it's warm enough, is so freaking cool. It's being outside, and even though there's noise, like, industrial noises, you get the breeze, you get the birds. It's just, it's really pretty powerful. No pressure. I'm just saying, if you're ever up and you're like, I feel like today's the day.
Yeah.
Come on over.
Okay.
You're making me miss it.
Hey, and just also, since I have you here, don't forget, I think a week from Monday is the first Monday in June, right? I'm pretty sure. That means it's the Not Just for Knitting. So our little crafting / non-crafting circle, if you wanted to come.
Okay.
Cool. I'll see you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Thank you. Love you.
Hey.
Bye.
Hi, Ariana.